Hey there, and welcome. We know that sometimes thinking about money can feel like you're lost in a big, scary forest at night. But what if I told you there's a beautiful, sunlit path right through those woods? Well, today we're going to hand you the lantern and the map, and together we'll find our way to real financial freedom. So, does this sound a little familiar? The alarm goes off, you grab your coffee, you commute, you work, you come home totally exhausted, and then you do it all over again? It's that 9 to 5 grind, right? It feels safe, it's what everyone does, but don't you ever get that little feeling, that little whisper that says there's a much bigger adventure waiting for you just over the horizon? You know, it all starts with one single powerful question. This comes from the incredible book, Your Money or Your Life. Before you buy that thing, before you commit to that job, just pause and ask yourself, is this truly worth my life energy? Honestly, that one question is the spark that can ignite a completely new adventure for you. Think about it. There are kind of two maps for our financial lives. On the one hand, you've got the traditional path. You work for, 40 plus years, retire around 65, and just kind of hope for the best. But then there's this other path, a different kind of adventure. It's the FIRE path. That's financial independence, retire early, where you get to decide when you've worked enough. So, where did this totally wild idea even come from? Well, it all started with a book that's basically the ancient magical scroll of the whole FIRE movement, Your Money or Your Life. And trust me, it's not some dusty old textbook. It's a revolutionary guide that completely flipped how people think about money. Okay, so at the heart of this whole thing is this amazing concept called life energy. The book teaches us to look at our purchases differently. That $5 coffee? It isn't just $5. It's maybe 15 minutes of your precious life that you had to trade at work to earn it. Whoa! When you start seeing things that way, your spending choices can change, like completely. And this just nails the magic of it all. It's not about depriving yourself or being cheap. No way. It's about being mindful. It means that every single time you choose not to spend on something that isn't worth your life energy, you're actually buying back a little piece of your own freedom. How empowering is that? So, how in the world do you actually start building this freedom? I want you to picture it like you're tending to a beautiful, magical garden. You don't need complicated spreadsheets or scary stock charts, I promise. All you need are two simple, sturdy pillars to grow your very own forest of financial freedom. All right, pillar number one is all about gathering your seeds. And your seeds, that's your money. The big secret here, which we learned from Your Money or Your Life, is to just spend less than you earn. It sounds so simple, right? But every single dollar you don't spend is a golden seed you can plant for your future. This is what mindful spending is all about. And it's so true. There's this other great book, The Millionaire Next Door, that found most millionaires aren't the flashy ones with supercars. Nope. They just quietly, consistently live below their means. But, okay, how do you actually do that without feeling like you're missing out on all the fun stuff? That is an excellent question, and the answer is pillar number two. You take those seeds you've gathered and you plant them. You don't just hide them under your mattress where they can't do anything. You put them in the rich, fertile soil of the stock market so they can sprout and grow into strong, beautiful money trees even while you're fast asleep. And you don't need a bunch of complicated tools for this garden, just a few simple ones. For example, low-cost index funds are like buying a tiny slice of the entire market. It's like having a little fleet of diligent, hardworking sprites building your wealth for you. Then you use automated investing, which is like setting up a magical self-watering system for your garden. You pay yourself first, which means you send those seeds to be planted the second you get paid, so you're not even tempted to spend them. It's gentle, it's easy, and it really, really works. Okay, so you're gathering your seeds, you're planting them, and your beautiful garden is growing. But what is this all leading to? Well, there is a truly magical moment in this whole journey, a moment when your garden has grown so lush and so abundant that it starts producing enough fruit to feed you forever. This moment is called the crossover point. It's the exact point when the money your investments make for you, your magical fruit, is more than what you actually need to live. That's it. That is the finish line. At that point, you never have to work for money again if you don't want to. But how do you even know what that number is? Is there some kind of secret code? Actually, there is a code, and it's beautifully, wonderfully simple. It's just a single number that holds the key to your freedom, 4%. This is the famous 4% rule. It's basically a guideline that says you can take out 4% from your investment garden every single year. And because the market has historically grown faster than that, your garden is super likely to just keep on growing and never, ever run out. It's like a magical spring that just keeps refilling itself. It makes financial independence feel so safe and totally achievable. So we have the map. We have the magical tools. But it is so important to remember what we're really searching for on this adventure. The goal isn't just to end up with a big pile of gold coins. The real treasure? Well, it's something so much more valuable than that. This quote from Morgan Housel's masterpiece, The Psychology of Money, it just says everything. Can you just take a second and imagine that feeling? Waking up, sun streaming through the window, and knowing that the entire day is completely yours to design? That's not just retirement, right? That's true freedom. That is the real prize. And that's why true wealth isn't the fancy car or the giant house. It's actually invisible. It's the money you didn't spend, which has now grown into this quiet power that gives you options. The freedom to change your career, the freedom to spend more time with your family, or just the freedom to be. The author of that book calls this control over your time the highest dividend money pays. I just love that. So we'll leave you with this one question. If you could wake up tomorrow and do whatever you wanted with your day, your week, your life, what would your adventure look like? What would you build or create or explore? Because that is the beautiful life your magic money garden is just waiting to grow for you.